Word List 1. Essence. This constant reshaping and recreation is the essence of folk music. Pastel. Pastel colors are always restful to our eyes. Cultivate. Expressive leaders cultivate a personal relationship with staff in the group. Recover. After taking some medicine, she has almost recovered from her cough. Substitute. Radio is a substitute for newspapers in people's homes. Renaissance. The Renaissance was more than a rebirth. It was also an age of new discoveries, both geographical and intellectual. Sweat. I woke up in a sweat. Underscore. These excesses underscore a feature of residential expansion related to the growth of mass transportation. Conform. They should be designed to conform to the topography of the area. Husk. How can we remove the husk of the grains? Tide. Could I borrow a 20 to tide me over till payday next Thursday? Decade. The last decade is a dream decade for the country's economic growth. Pluralism. Don't pursue pluralism too much, or you will accomplish nothing instead. Vagrant. Sophie met a band of vagrants at the door of the coffee shop. Incline. They have come back from their trip to Europe. They inclined to take a rest for a couple of days. Grievous. The report said that was a grievous waste. Saucy. She was tall, slim, with fair skin and large, saucy eyes. Disproportionate. Disproportionate emphasis on examinations may bring about serious consequences. Withhold. There are some parents who might withhold sweets from their children as a form of punishment. Nosy. Tom says it's nosy to ask others about their private lives. Stumble. Be careful not to stumble against that table, or you'll break the glasses on it. Imaginative. That famous artist who was seen as the father of painting is full of imaginative ideas. Chaotic. Inherent complexity is the true cause of chaotic systems. Renown. Seldom has a city as New York gained such world renown. Scroll. Look at this. It's a Chinese vertical scroll painting. Embrace. Not everyone embraced the new population plan, which was proposed by the president. Obliterate. The government official was eager to obliterate his mistake. Colonization. This treaty ends the colonization of the 2 islands. Affiliate. The next item on the agenda is to discuss the affiliating program. Rancorous. Ever since, the family has been characterized by a rancorous bitterness. Subculture. It is obvious that foreign culture here belongs to a subculture. Forum. The online forum provides a platform for people to voice their opinions. Participant. The black man was a leading participant in the movement to end slavery. Strain. These repayments are putting a strain on our finances. Vary. Ortho classes vary in color from white to pink to red. Mediate. The National Academy of Design mediated conflicts between artists. Sensitive. Ants can be extremely sensitive to these signals. Exposition. The city will host the country's biggest flower exposition. Sphere. This area was formerly within the sphere of French influence. Discharge. Are you in any pain, or is there any discharge in your ears? Giant. The galaxy is a giant family of many millions of stars. Melt. If clay contains too much iron, it will melt when fired. Solicit. Bill solicited my opinion. Leisure. She doesn't have much leisure. Unravel. Genetic engineering helps researchers unravel the mysteries of previously incurable diseases. Nail. She hammered the nail in. Attain. Mango trees grow rapidly and can attain heights of up to 90 feet. Constitute. Governments should be constituted by the will of the people. Unsubstantiated. There are numerous unsubstantiated reports. Stylized. In her versions, the figures became more stylized and the landscapes less naturalistic. Intrepid. Nellie gained a reputation as a daring, intrepid journalist. Nominee. Both political parties wanted Dwight D. Eisenhower as their presidential nominee. Panic. The class presentation started half an hour ago, and I was just beginning to panic. Lure. Many adults were lured to the cities by promises of steady employment. Routine. Farmers relieved the burden of the daily routine with such relaxation as hunting. Solution. Attempts to find a solution have failed. Revere. The movement revered craft as a form of art. Idealize. This is how Thomas Jefferson idealized the farmers at the beginning of the 19th century. Flash. Flashes of light were followed by an explosion. Secrete. This substance is secreted from cells in the intestinal walls. Issue. He and Dr. Johnson disagreed on basic economic issues. Area. An aria in music was originally any expressive melody, usually performed by a singer. Facilitate. Government's trade policies facilitated the exporting of agricultural products. Electricity. The hydroelectric station began generating electricity in the mid-1980s. Progressive. Although based on feudal models, the colony of Pennsylvania developed a reputation for a progressive political and social outlook. Reef. President. The president's visit promoted the cooperation between the two countries. Feeble. The national government made a feeble attempt to make larger holdings available to homesteaders. Influx. The rapid growth of Boston during the mid-19th century coincided with a large influx of European immigrants. Receptacle. The seas have been used as a receptacle for a range of industrial toxins. Accent. Anyone with a foreign accent, even a child, was discriminated against in the district. Kernel. Squirrels bite through the shells to get at the nutritious kernels. Secure. Agriculture made possible a more stable and secure life. Electron. Segment. Social atomization affected every segment of society. Nourish. The rain nourished the crops. Engulf. The movie star was engulfed by a crowd of his fans. Bedrock. Honesty is the bedrock of any healthy relationship. Due. I can't remember the due date for our final paper. Unprecedented. These innovations in manufacturing boosted output and living standards to an unprecedented extent. Expel. When you sneeze, you expel air from your lungs. Verbal. They were too excited to give a verbal description of what the success of the moon landing meant. Deadline. If you can't meet a deadline for an essay, you should go and see your lecturers. Tolerate. I won't tolerate your foolish behavior anymore. Identity. The identity of the author is unknown. Seep. Some parts of this country are dry because rainwater seeps quickly through sandy soils and into the rock below. Patriarch. Engage. How are we going to classify a typical politician or business person who engages in unethical practices? Constrain. Their species' genetic makeup constrains them to be insects. Innocent. The man was found innocent of any crime.